Everybody says they don't have enough time. Not enough time to work out. Not enough time for a business to fix their life. But here's the truth. You don't have a time problem. You have a priority problem. Because we all get the same 24 hours in a day. The difference is what we choose to do with them. Welcome back to the Marcus Allgood Show. I appreciate everybody listening and watching. And I 100% love doing this show. And because of the fact that I get so much done. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but most people ask, how do I do it all? And I just say, I just do it. But it is definitely 100% a priority problem for people that cannot work out, have a business, and do different things. So let's get into it. Today, you don't have a problem. You have a priority problem. And I appreciate everybody watching and listening. Share the show. Gain value of this, definitely share it with a friend. Or share it with that person that has a time priority problem. We're going to try and help them fix it today. The lie about the time. They always people say that I'm too busy. I've been known to do that. There's not enough time in the day. Have you ever heard yourself say, man, I just need another hour in the day, or I just wish there was more time in the day? Look, there is 24 hours in the day. You've got to figure out what you can fit in those 24 hours that makes the most sense for you. But here it is. But time isn't the issue because somehow people still have time for doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. They have time to watch, Netflix, 4 or 5 hours of Netflix, or Paramount, or whatever streaming platform you have now. We all got time for some distractions, some your buddy talking about some drama that happened or some coworker drama, like all that different thing. Those are all distractions, things that don't move their life forward. Just I don't know, just sitting by the pool. We all need some relaxation time. Don't get me wrong, but sitting by the pool every day, not doing anything, is not going to get you where you need to be. That is just wasting time. So if it matters, it shows up in your schedule. If it doesn't, it shows up in your excuses. And we all make those excuses thinking that if we make the excuse, it sounds good to us and it's probably going to make us feel better. But in the reality of it, it's just a big excuse that you're not going to be able to get the things done that you want to get done. So what your schedule actually reveals, your calendar tells the truth. And I'm a big violation of this because of the fact that I really don't use a calendar. I just set my intentions every day. So your calendar is going to tell you, especially if you write in your calendar, most people aren't going to write in doom scrolling for 1 hour from 3 to 4. If you are serious and intentional about your calendar, then you can't put everything in there to where you can avoid doom scrolling and just sitting by the pool doing nothing, or Netflixing for 4 or 5 hours just binging the series. So it's going to tell you what you value, what you avoid, and what you prioritize, and what you're committed to. If you put the things on there that you actually prioritize, like cooking, meal prepping, eating right, spending time in your business, reading books for your business, or reading books to increase your value in life, like those are all things you can put in there that are not time wasters. And then those actually add value to your life. So you can take a couple hours to do those things. But what you don't put in there actually matters. What you actually do with your time is what matters the most. If you put it on there and you're actually doing it, then that's good for you. But if you have time blocks of 1 hour, or let's just say you have 2 hour time block in there, but you have nothing else scheduled and you just doom scroll for all the other hours, or you watch Netflix until that time, like that's not very high priority. That's not very good prioritization of your time, and you're going to run out of those 24 hours pretty easy and not have anything done. My days usually are pretty much the same unless I go to Mobile to go check out a house. I usually just throw those in because those are top priority. If somebody calls up or I've talked to somebody about going look at a house, that's top priority. I drop everything and go do it. It's just one of those things that I can't put on the calendar. I can't say, okay, from 2 to 4, I'm going to go look at houses unless I figure out a way to systematize these houses popping up on the market, because they just pop up randomly and you got to be fast to go look at them. So therefore, I just shove it in my time and push push whatever else I have, I just push it up to the side, and either I get it done today or I get it done tomorrow. So why people mislabel priorities as no time? They don't want to do the hard thing. It's just they avoid it. They don't want to do it. They're just like, oh, I'll just push it off, and next thing you know, it's 3 days, 3 weeks down the road, and you're just like, oh, I just don't have time for it. There's the discomfort. Growth feels inconvenient, and it's almost like when you get sick. Like if something hurts and you gotta go to the doctor, it's just inconvenience. That's not on your calendar, and you say, I don't have time for this, but you actually do. You have to prioritize that getting it fixed before you can go do the rest of the things. So you make the time. It just doesn't feel good because it's a discomfort level, but you make the time to go see the doctor and you get better. Therefore, you can figure out the rest of the stuff that you had on that day that you can go figure out. Lack of clarity. They haven't decided what actually matters. They don't know what they want. They don't know what their priorities are in life. You got to have your top 5 priorities in life written down somewhere or know them in your head, and they could change throughout throughout the years, and as long as you're switching them out and you're actually doing them, everything's gonna be okay. So emotional decisions, they do what feels good in the moment. We've all done that before. The party scene, like that always feels good in the moment when you're younger and you don't have your priorities set. So instead of saying, I don't want to do it, they say, I don't have time. I just don't have time for that. I just don't have time for this. And, going to the beach is not a high priority to me. I just say, I don't have time to go to the beach. Which really, and I actually will tell the person, I'm like, I just don't prioritize going to the beach. It's just not something higher on my priority list out of the other top 5 that I have that I just want to go to. Is it fun going to the beach? Yeah. But you have to really focus on it and put some intention in it, behind it. And it's crazy that we live so close to the beach, 45 minutes away, but we don't ever make time to go hang out. It's because we have to slow down. You can't get anything done out there. You just have to hang out with your family or hang out with your kids, things like that. Like you can't get your work done. So therefore you feel like you don't have time to go out there. So the real cost of poor priorities is when priorities are off, your goals don't matter, your habits don't stick, stress increases, time feels wasted, life feels stuck. And so if you ever feel like you just wasted your whole day, that means you didn't hit anything on your priority list. You just let the whole day go by, all those hours, just poof, gone. Every once in a while we'll do that, but sometimes I just want to do it on Sunday, and I still end up doing the podcast, going to show a house or getting the yard work done. But there are some days, man, you just want to sit down and do nothing. And they don't come very often, but if you can have that and actually slow down, it's going to feel pretty good the next day. During it, I always feel like I'm just wasting time. It doesn't feel good to me. But the next day, I always feel more refreshed. You don't feel behind because of time. You feel behind because of misalignment. You're just not aligned in where your priorities are. The more you align with your priorities, the more you're going to feel like you got ahead of everything that you're trying to do. So you're not short on time, you're just short on focus and commitment. And commitment we've talked about before, and the more committed you are, the better your life is going to be. So what high performers do differently, they don't have more time. They have the same 24 hours as you and I. Say no to more often, plan their days, protect their energy, do the hard things first, treat priorities like non-negotiables. The hardest thing for me is working out. Because if I don't get it done in the morning, it's not happening throughout the day. And then when I do get to try and do a 3 p.m. workout, I just feel guilty that I have other things that I gotta go do. Or I could be doing this, could be doing that. And at 4 a.m., there's no excuse. There's not really much going on. And I feel like that's my time to go work out and I could get it done. And then you gotta treat your priorities like non-negotiables. You gotta hit the gym, you gotta meal prep, you gotta take care of the family, you gotta be a good spouse. And you got to be there for your business and things like that. You got to say no more often. Like, say no. It doesn't feel good, but it really feels good after you say it and you walk away from it. And then plan your day. I try and plan my day. It's like I said, it's usually the same every day. High performers definitely have their calendars full, blocked out. And a lot of times they even have scheduled in family time from 5 to 7. Because then they'll go back to doing some work or they got to go work out or things like that. Like They schedule the family time. If you have a problem, like hanging out with your spouse, like going on date nights, or hanging out with your kids, like schedule that time into your calendar and make it happen. You won't regret it for sure. High performers don't fit priorities into their day. They build their day around them. Successful people don't find time, they make decisions. Making the decisions gives you time back. Instead of sitting there dwelling on it for 2 hours, you're not wasting your time. You just, once you make the decision in 5 minutes, you got, 180, 175 more minutes to go do something else. Take care of your priorities. How do you fix your priorities? Decide what actually matters: health, family, business, growth. Be clear. Write them down. Get those top 5 of what your priorities want to be and stick to them. Cut what doesn't serve you. Distractions are stealing your life. Cut out going to the beach. Cut out sitting by the pool. Cut out going out drinking with your friends. Cut out sitting there on the video games for 4 hours. All sorts of different things you can cut out that, Netflix, anything like that. But set yourself up some time. Like I set myself usually like 30 minutes to 1 hour at bedtime to watch a little bit of TV and then go to bed. And it's going to go against what most gurus say to get the best optimal sleep. Like don't watch TV. Don't play on your phone like 2 hours before, blah, 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 blah. Do what feels right to you. Distractions are stealing your life. Schedule your priorities first, not last. Like those top 5, schedule them first. Like that's what you need to do. Stop negotiating with yourself. You said you'd do it, so actually go do it. Own your time. No blaming your job, your schedule, or your circumstances. Just make it happen. You got 8 hours at the job. Figure out the rest of them. You can squeeze a lot more things into it than you actually know you can. Once you start doing it, you're gonna be, man, how did I not do all this? It's gonna be weird. But once you stop it all, you're gonna be like, man, how did I do all that? So, truth bomb is you don't need more hours in your day. You just need better decisions. And I hope this podcast helped you out today to be able to make better decisions. So for the next 3 days, track your time honestly every hour. Then ask yourself, does this reflect the life I say I want? Because your future isn't decided by what you hope for. It's decided by what you prioritize. You don't have a time problem. You have a decision problem. Start making the right decisions. Follow your priorities. And that's the pod.